Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tim Nichols, and you're tuned into CVCA Royals Hockey. Welcome to a Sunday afternoon matinee. We are live from the Deep Freeze Ice Arena in Boardman, Ohio, and today CVCA and Canfield are back in action less than 24 hours from completion of yesterday's 7-2 victory by the Cardinals on Saturday afternoon up in Garfield Heights, Ohio, which was a CVCA home game. Today, the two teams meet again. This time on the home ice of the Cardinals. We're coming to you from the Deep Freeze Ice Arena in Boardman, Ohio, just south of Youngstown. The Cardinals won a very physical battle yesterday, exploding for 4 second-period goals en route to a 7-2 victory. And Canfield was led by senior Brian Woke, who had 2 of those second-period goals. But the tenacious Canfield forward limped off the ice midway through the third period after getting tangled up with CVCA's Jack Lamline, with the two racing toward the goal. Royals goaltender JT Nichols came way out of his crease to stave away a breakaway attempt by Woke, but Woke and Lamline simultaneously crashed into the goal and then into the boards. Word is, though, that Woke will be okay and can go today. Shortly after that, junior defenseman Matt Scoliari crumpled in the corner and also needed assistance getting off the ice, but did skate to the bench under his own power. Scoliari also had a goal in that second period outburst, and again, we've heard this morning that he is good to go this afternoon. CVCA athletic trainer Leanne Tebow was busy on the Royals side as well. Midway through the contest, freshman Morgan Joy, who plays on the Royals' second line, got a shove into the boards by Canfield's Ryan Janik. It was a normal hockey play, but Joy, who has 3 goals to her credit this season and is the first female to ever light the lamp for the Royals program, couldn't brace her fall and crashed headfirst into the boards. She left the game and also the arena, and she will be unavailable today. And then late in the game, Royals starting winger Luke Parada was injured in a scrap in front of the CVCA bench, in which he actually was called for a penalty. Parada is out for today's game as well, and if he can't go, which he will not be able to go, it'll be a huge loss for the Royals. Parada has started every game for CVCA this year, with the exception of the game against Brush, where CVCA played all freshmen and sophomores. The loss of Parada and Joy will be a major blow to CVCA's already limited depth today. With a win yesterday, Canfield improved to a record of 9-3-3, and they are now 7-1-2 in their last 10 games and are playing very good hockey. Sophomore goaltender Corey Kinar lowered his goals against average to 2.67. 4 of the 7 Canfield goals yesterday came from seniors. Woke had his 2. Senior Eli Dredge both opened and closed the scoring for the Cardinals. In between, Canfield got single goals from 3 different defensemen: sophomore Drew Rostick, sophomore Ryan Janik, and junior Matt Scoliari, as we mentioned before. Those 3, along with senior captain Tyler Christie, skated well on both ends of the ice and ensured that the Royals' offense remained bottled up. CVCA enters today's game with a record of 6 wins, 13 losses, and a tie. Yesterday, the Royals got on the board early when senior captain Gabe Dearden fired a laser by Corey Kinar just 3 minutes into the contest, but it would not hold up. Dearden scored again early in the third period, but it was too little, too late for the Royals, the only offensive production on the afternoon for CVCA. In fact, the Royals have scored just 5 goals in their last 3 games, all by Dearden. And with Parada out today, the pressure will fall upon juniors Jack Lamline and Caden Ballard to produce some offensive threats to complement Dearden. In addition, the Royals will look to senior assistant captain Sam Porter to help generate some offense. Porter just missed scoring yesterday afternoon when he rang one off the crossbar. The other key to success today for the Royals will be how well they can defend in front of goaltender JT Nichols. CVCA has been susceptible to defensive lapses all season long, and that was the case again yesterday. At least twice yesterday afternoon, Canfield scored on 3rd attempts where Nichols saved the first 2 shots, but was unable to cover and ultimately beaten by rebounds that were fired right past him. Dearden, as well as sophomores Mark Mosher and Zach Nichols, will be counted upon to bottle up that Canfield offensive threats in front of the goaltender Nichols, but they'll need a full team effort to generate more success in the defensive zone. Before we get started today, a special shout out to fellow goalie dad Dave Kinar from Canfield, and a hello to the Canfield parents and families that are following along with us this weekend. We are here, as we said, at the Deep Freeze Ice Arena today, where 2 spectators are allowed per player. So with a small number of spectators allowed, a number of CVCA families have made the 1-hour drive down to Boardman. but we know many more of you are following along from both sides and watching on the live stream as you did yesterday when both teams played up in Garfield Heights, where local authorities have prohibited spectators this season. Dave Kennard has been gracious in helping us get settled here today, and he and Lori Morris from Canfield have been extremely helpful in the days leading up to the home and home series this weekend as we made preparations for these broadcasts. So whether you're from CVCA or Canfield, we're glad you found us here today online via the Boxcast platforms or on the simulcast on the CVCA Boosters YouTube page. And we'll do our best to bring you the action as we have all season long. Clock is winding down, and we are positioned up in the balcony outside the actual ice arena today. So the Canfield arena here at the Deep Freeze Ice Arena is a rink that has only 3 levels of stands, and those stands are about 5 feet in depth from the ice surface, so there's no way to get down on the ice here in Canfield. So we are up in the loft with some of the families, and we'll do our best to bring you the action. The camera is behind a window, which is behind the netting, so it may be a bit difficult for us to get into the corners with some of the view today, but we will do our best to describe the action to you as we mentioned before. Minute and a half left on the clock in the pregame countdown. Today is the 51st all-time meeting since 2000 between these two schools. Canfield holds the edge in the series. They are 32-15-3 against the Royals. The Cardinals did win 18 straight against CVCA from 2005 to 2010, but the Royals hold a 9-6-1 edge against Canfield since the start, or rather the end of that streak in 2010. Yesterday, Canfield notched its first victory against CVCA since a 2-1 victory on November 24th, 2018. That came in the Bruce Anderson Thanksgiving Tournament contest up in Parma. The coaches, Canfield is coached by head coach Steve Covelli. He's assisted by Tim Traylor and Dalton Piacitelli. CVCA's head coach is Doug Fairchild in his 14th year behind the bench for the CVCA Royals, and he is assisted by Mark Brower, Rich Hurdle, and Jonathan Beckett. Clock's winding down to about 35 seconds. We're going to try and make our way out onto the loft that they've now opened up for at least some broadcast capabilities from that vantage point. And we'll take a pause now. Shortly thereafter, or shortly coming up, will be the starting lineups and in all likelihood the national anthem here from Boardman. Once again, you are tuned in to CVCA Royals Hockey on the Boxcast platform and simulcast on the CVCA Boosters YouTube page. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back shortly. And we have repositioned ourselves now inside the ice arena. There is a crow's nest loft. We are now in the corner behind the goal that the CVCA Royals will be defending here in the first period. Public address announcer inside the arena now making the announcements to the fans inside. And we're getting ready for Greater Cleveland High School hockey action once again from Boardman, Ohio. Today's action with the Royals on the road taking on the Canfield Cardinals. Starting lineups about to be announced for the Royals. Sam Porter, the senior assistant captain, gets the start for CVCA today. And Caden Ballard on right wing getting the start in place of the injured Luke Parada. At center, Jack Lamline, the junior assistant captain for CVCA. On defense, Gabe Dearden, the senior captain for the Royals, 2 goals yesterday. Sophomore Mark Mosher also on defense, and in goal, the senior 4-year starter, number 39, JT Nichols. Drew Rosnick gets the start for Canfield at left wing. Rosnick scored a goal yesterday. Eli Dredge also at wing. Dredge, a pair of goals in the game yesterday afternoon. Sophomore Tyler Carney. On defense, the captain, senior Tyler Christie. And back on the ice today after that smash into the boards, number 86, Brian Woke, the senior. In goal for Canfield once again today. 30 stops yesterday afternoon for Corey Kanar. And now we pause inside the Deep Freeze Ice Arena for the national anthem. A rousing rendition of the national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, here in Boardman, Ohio, and we're about ready for high school hockey. The teams retreat to their benches as we're just about ready to go. As we mentioned, Caden Ballard getting the start for CVCA. Luke Parada out, also out for the Royals. Morgan Joy, both suffering injuries yesterday in the first leg of the home-and-home battle between Canfield and CVCA. We should also mention the Royals are playing down an additional defenseman, Josh Petschke, missing his third straight game for the Royals. So the Royals depth tested this late in the season. It's the 21st game of the season for CVCA. Canfield with 9 wins to their credit so far, looking to get into double digits. That would double up the amount of wins the Cardinals had a year ago. Both these teams moving down from the white South Division into the blue North this year. The Cardinals having competed very strongly against the likes of Normandy and Chagrin Falls. Both teams with their sights set on the Barron Cup, which will begin in little over a week up in Brooklyn, Ohio. But right now, beginning is this contest, Jack Lamline at center ice for CVCA to take the face-off. The puck is dropped down, and we are underway from Boardman. Into the offensive zone and back to get it is number 7, Tyler Christie for Canfield. The Cardinals control, but in their own defensive zone as we get underway. Up to center ice, Mark Mosher has it for the Royals, and Mosher pushes it in deep. It gets past Carney into the far corner. He chases after it and cross ice behind the goal to Christie, and then back around the boards, kept in by Gabe Dearden for the Royals. Dearden fires it in, and it's wide of the net. Near side boards. Mark Mosher tries to keep it in for the Royals, and it's finally cleared out into the defensive zone. Far side corner where Dearden chases after it for CVCA. Behind his own goal, he's checked. The puck moved in front of us and down to the far side. Dearden skates after it for the Royals. A big hit on the far side boards. Down going is one of the Canfield players who got the worst of that action, trying to take Dearden out. Dearden now retreats again as the puck is chipped back into the defensive zone for the Royals. Out it comes, right back in delayed offside for Canfield, and getting back on side is Eli Dredge. That gives Dearden space and chip it in to the near side boards. Chasing after it is Christie. Christie behind his own net. Pokes it up and down the ice and no icing. It's called off. So back on it is Mark Mosher. Mosher chips it up into the net, and we have a stoppage in play. The first one, as we try and get our bearings. There are 13 minutes and 33 seconds left to go here in the first period. As we mentioned, we positioned ourselves in the near side corner to where you're looking at the camera. There is a dark netting in front of us, so it kind of obstructs a bit of the view as we get further down the ice to where Canfield is defending and the Royals are trying to score during this first period. The netting is darker at this end of the ice. The netting on the side of the ice is a lighter color and a little bit less of an obstruction. Meanwhile, the Royals push the puck in to their offensive zone behind the board. It's controlled by the Canfield Cardinals. They try and work it up and out, but Dearden keeps it in and pushes it behind the net once again. Back to get it appears to be Christie near side. Passes up the ice, and the Cardinals try and work it on out. It gets out to the center ice zone where Zach Nichols for CVCA pushes it back in, but the Cardinals control quickly. Cross ice pass, chipped up, and now into the offensive zone. Dearden gets a stick on it. He's challenged by Bryce Daggett, but up ice goes Dearden into the offensive zone, skates into the circle, fires on Kennard. Looks like a stick save to the near side boards, the first save of the day for Corey Kennard. Through center ice, the puck trickles. Back to get it is Lamline, who chips it up and finds the near side through the line with pressure. The Cardinals now moving up into the offensive zone. Their first attack, 1-on-0. Shot on Nichols. Save JT Nichols off of Brian Woke, who is in uncontested. The senior goaltender Stones Woke on that one. A huge opportunity for an early lead for the Canfield Cardinals, but JT Nichols up to the task. Cardinals try and push it up once again. They've got a 2-on-1. Zach Nichols, the only man back for the Royals, and the pass does not connect. Eli Dredge sees the puck trickle into the corner. You have to skate after it. So two great opportunities for Canfield out of the gate here. The Royals escaping harm early on. Dearden tries to get to the neutral zone. He's poke checked away and chips it up forward. Sam Porter's after it. Porter to his left. Still with it. And gets it into the offensive zone, but just for a moment, it's chipped back out. Zach Nichols, D to D, finds Dearden. Both Nichols and Dearden will get a lot of ice time, as will Mark Mosher today. Dearden through the neutral zone. On his stick, into the offensive zone. Skates forward. It's pushed behind the net. Back there is Christie. He reverses course. Finds another Canfield player. Looks like that might be Drew Rostick. Again, the number's very hard to read on that end of the ice behind this black netting. Through center ice. Pass connects into the offensive zone. Chipped and pushed forward, but not out. Another chance. Back checking. Zach Nichols. Shot on JT Nichols. It ricochets. Controlled into the corner. Lamb out to the corner. Rather to the point. And now poked out by CVCA's Kyler Young. Down the ice it goes, and icing is called against the Royals. A stoppage ensues. 10 minutes and 36 seconds to go. Early on in the first period, a couple of chances for the Cardinals, but no score to this point. CVCA nothing and Canfield nothing. Face off to the left of the senior goaltender JT Nichols. Lamline steps in. Matt Scolieri takes it for Canfield. And it's pushed toward the slot where it's intercepted by Mark Mosher. Through center ice comes Mosher with some wheels. Mosher to the right side fires. And Kennard with the save. Into the corner it goes and chipped up and out. Lamline playing defense. Pokes it back in. So again, the Royals lineup in flux with the injuries to Parada and Joy. Now Mosher steps back into his natural defense position as the teams battle, and it's poked back into the CVCA offensive zone. Back to get it to Scolieri. Scolieri skates, gets some pressure from Matthew Porter, skates around him, and out of the zone he comes. Through center ice, cross ice pass. Does not connect immediately, but it bounces back, but not in time for number 75, Antonio Maroon. Maroon having to wait for that puck to come off the boards. By the time he entered the zone, his teammate was offside. So, stoppage ensues at 9 minutes and 19 seconds, perhaps. Again, a very difficult view here, but about 19 to go in the first period. Face-off outside the Canfield offensive zone. It's dropped down and pushed forward, but only for a moment. Woke has it on his stick and pokes it in deep. Around the boards it goes. JT Nichols tries to stop it, now gets back to his goal. It's controlled by Dearden, who pokes it up and out. Immediately back in, delayed offside against the Cardinals. Mark Mosher retrieves it for CVCA. Mosher up, looking for Ballard. Ballard pokes it to center ice, and now it's sent back in. On it once again. Mosher in the corner, surveys, looks forward, finds Ballard in the slot, and it's poked back in by Woke. So for the third time, Mosher retrieves it. Mosher this time goes to his right, fires up, finds Dearden. And Dearden now with some wheels into the offensive zone, tries to take on two Cardinals, is dispossessed, and the Cardinals clear it up and out. A chase for the puck as it trickles in front of JT Nichols. Mosher's on it again and pokes it up, finds Ballard. Ballard tripped up, but gets into the offensive zone, and a battle ensues into the corner. Ballard is dumped. It's poked up, and out of the zone comes Canfield with it once again. Through the neutral zone, and now into the offensive zone. Nice back checking by Mosher. Mosher around the boards to the left, the right point rather. Check that, the left point, into the corner and behind the goal. Centering pass. Great chance again for Canfield's number 27, William Epp. Eli Dredge, the author of that nice centering pass. Dredge could not quite get a stick on it, and it went wide. Cardinals still control. Centering pass once again, and JT Nichols knocks it down. Epp is in there poking at it, but Nichols jumps on it, and a stoppage for the Royals goaltender. They'll set up to his right for the faceoff in the defensive zone for the Royals. Jack Lamline wins it. It's chipped forward by Zach Nichols. Off Lamline's stick and forward. A race is on. Lamline's to it. Lamline skates in, shoots. And it is stopped by Corey Knar. Knar looked and glanced back to his right. But the referee said, nope, son, it is in your pads. It's not in the goal. A save for Knar, and he keeps the score at 0-0. Stopping that opportunity from CVCA's junior forward, Jack Lamline. Face off to Knar's left. They drop the puck down, up to the point. Dearden chips it back in deep. On it is Scoliari. He loses it. It's now out to the left point. Zach Nichols skates in and chips it in further, and chasing back after it looks like Tyler Christie. Christie around the boards. Looks like he finds Matt Scoliari, who chips it forward. And now into the offensive zone come the Cardinals. Poke checked away, but a shot on JT Nichols is stopped off the blade and stick of Eli Dredge. We've made it to the halfway mark of the first period, about 7 minutes and 37, I think. Might be 27, but nearly halfway through the first period, still no score. It's chipped up and out of the zone, knocked back in by the Cardinals, who get back on side. It gives Dearden a chance to retrieve the puck. He circles back, reassesses his opportunities, and skates to his left, does Dearden, the senior captain for CVCA. Gets to the red line and pokes it in deep. Jack Lamline will go visit. Not there in time, though, and the Cardinals clear, and back the other direction they come. Poke checked away by Dearden. Dearden is leveled at the blue line. Gets up slowly. Stick taps by the Canfield bench as they know that the body was used to take out the senior captain for CVCA. And Zach Nichols retrieves the puck for CVCA, ices it down the ice, and gives the chance for the Royals to get a change. Dearden looks to the sideline, to the bench area, says, Coach, I'm okay. And he stays out on the ice. Zach Nichols comes off, and they send on Mark Mosher. Face off to the left of JT Nichols this time. Ballard steps in for the Royals. The teams battle for it, and Canfield comes up with it. Pass up to the left point, shot in, off the post, and into the corner. A great opportunity again. It looked like that was off the stick of Kyler Christie. JT Nichols may have got a stick on it, and then it hit the right post. Left post for Nichols, right post for Christie, and it keeps the score tied at 0-0. This one is won by the Royals. Ballard fights for it, can't get it. He goes down in a heap, as does Canfield's it looks like Maroon, Antonio Maroon that is. They both get up, and meanwhile the action continues down in the Royals offensive zone. Into the corner. Sam Porter pushes it behind the net. It's now controlled by Canfield, and up ice they come. Chipped into the corner for CVCA where Nichols plays it, but a pair of Cardinals is there, and Maroon gets leveled by one of the CVCA defensemen. Mark Mosher in the corner, but with it is number 18, backdoor opportunity as Matt Scolieri tried to find William Epp. Epp was eliminated in the crease by one of the Royals defensemen. It looked like that might have been Mosher. They try it again, and this time centering pass is knocked down by Ballard. Ballard pokes it up and out, and back on it is Woke. Great pressure by Canfield. Shot in on Nichols, and JT makes the save. Nichols for CVCA. Pass connects to Ballard. He's in, on goal, shoots, and saved by Kennard. A long ice pass gave the Royals an opportunity, but Kennard stood up to the task. And it comes back into the Royal zone. Nichols scoops it around, gets back in his net. It comes back around the boards, up to the left point. Christie, I believe, knocks it back in for the Canfield Cardinals. Behind the net, it's controlled. Over to Woke. Woke in the corner, surveys. He's got time, fires, and it's up into the net for a stoppage. Great chances by both teams. Caden Ballard with a 1-on-0 opportunity, but Corey Kennard stoned him, and then back the other side. It came real quickly, and JT Nichols had to make a save. It looked like 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the first period. Still no score. Face-off in the offensive zone coming up for the Canfield Cardinals. Brian Woke waiting on the referee to retrieve the puck, as is Jack Lamline. The two will take the draw for their respective teams. It's poked down into the slot and across the ice as the Canfield Cardinals win that one, and poked in deep by Ryan Janik. Mark Mosher chips it up, and it finds a Cardinal. Shot in, deflected, saved by Nichols off the deflection, and cleared out to the near sideboards. Up but not out, kept in by the Cardinals. Fired, deflected high into the far side corner. Cardinals with great pressure here. Now back to the point, shot on Nichols, stick save. And a penalty coming up on CVCA. Cross-checking is going to be the call, but in the meantime, shot and a second shot. Nichols dives on it, a stoppage ensues, and the Cardinals will go on the power play for the first time here with 4 minutes and 12 seconds, I believe. So yes, it is 4:12 to go in the first period. Into the box for CVCA goes Zach Nichols, number 53 for CVCA. I believe the call is cross-checking. So yesterday, the Cardinals got one power play goal for their activity and their efforts up in Garfield Heights. We'll see what they can do on the power play here. They control the face-off, and controlling is Dredge up to the point. Christie back to Dredge down low. Dredge surveys and looks. Dredge now lower even further. Woke has it in the corner, back up to the point. Now moving to the high slot, and it comes back to Woke. Chipped aside, and Dearden tries to clear it out. He can't get it, but Matthew Porter's out there on the penalty kill for CVCA, and he pushes it down the ice and clears it for the Royals. A minute 30 left to go in the power play. Canfield trying to control and set up in their defensive zone. They gain control of the puck and begin the rush back up the ice. Long pass is knocked down and cleared down the ice by a Lamline once again. Through center ice and chipped back once again by Sam Porter. Porter in there at the red line. His brother Matthew Porter pushes it back further. And so the Royals doing a good job so far in the neutral zone. But finally now Canfield into the zone and in on goal. Shot and score! Brian Woke breaks the tie. skates in and beats JT Nichols to the short side and puts the Canfield Cardinals up 1-0. 86, Brian Woke breaks the tie. It's 1-0 Canfield. So Brian Woke 2 goals yesterday, and the senior forward for Canfield gets the first one today. The Cardinals up 1-0, and another stoppage ensues. Power play goal for Woke. Time of that goal, approximately 11 minutes and 20 seconds into the first period. And after the face-off at center ice, they immediately call a hand pass against Canfield. So Corey Cannar and his Canfield Cardinal teammates will have to defend a defensive zone face-off to his left. Face-off one back to Dearden, fired on net, and Gabe Dearden ties it up. A shot from the point. Dearden scores for CVCA 1-1. The assist will undoubtedly go to Jack Lamline, who won that face-off to the point for the Royals, and Gabe Dearden, his third goal in 2 days. One to one the score as Dearden gets it right back for CVCA. And off the face-off, Dearden has it on his stick once again. Through center ice, and he pokes it into the offensive zone where Tyler Christie will chase it for the Cardinals. But the Royals come out with it. Shot to Zach Nichols, pokes it in further deep. Now he gets it back, pokes it back on a backhand into the corner. The Cardinals poke it up, off Nichols once again, and a delayed offside. That gives Canfield an opportunity to come back the other direction. On the rush, fired, knocked down in front by Lamline, and Zach Nichols tries to hit Ballard on a long pass. Cannar has to play it into the corner, so Ballard gets there, surveys, and now the puck is controlled by Canfield to the neutral zone, but Lamline's back on it and pokes it in further deep. Once again, Ballard chases, onside for CVCA. Ballard and I think Christie behind the net as we're down to 2.5 minutes in a 1-1 hockey game. Cardinals, a cross-ice pass through the neutral zone into the offensive zone, and a pair of CVCA Royals take out that chance. Zach Nichols gets hit in the corner, and Canfield trying to dig it out. Dredge sends it through the crease. Nobody there for the Cardinals. However, Dearden is on it, chips it up, and Dearden levels Christian. Captain on captain, mouthpieces go flying. Down the ice it goes. 1.5 minutes to go. Canfield with control. Dearden retrieves his mouthpiece. But at the blue line, Mark Mosher sends it up ice, and Canfield retrieves it. We're down to 1 minute and 10 rather, to go here in the first period. Through the neutral zone and back into the offensive zone for the Cardinals. Through the slot, shot and glove save. JT Nichols for the Royals keeps it 1-1. Clock stops, and we're down to 1 minute and 3 seconds to go here. First period from Deep Freeze Ice Arena in Boardman, Ohio. Face off to the right of Nichols. 63 seconds left in the first period. Face off won by CVCA. Mark Mosher pushes it around the boards and out for the Royals. And Christie will chase after, but Lamline's chasing after him. It's poked up and through the neutral zone. Dearden back on it. Dearden tries to defend, but it's pushed in further deep by Scolieri. Scolieri and Mosher battle in the corner. It's poked forward. Lamline tries to get it, but back it goes to the boards. Mosher on it once again. This time he's got a battle with Antonio Maroon. And it gets past Christie and a chance for Jack Lamline into the offensive zone. Lamline skates in. Reverse pass. Tries to find Sam Porter. Cannot. A pretty play, but it didn't materialize. Back out to the neutral zone. Down to 20-some seconds left. Dearden across center ice. And chips it in deep into the corner. 16 seconds left. Back on it is Kearney. Kearney around the boards, near side. Chance for one more rush, perhaps. Time for one more rush, rather, for Canfield. But a battle ensues on the near side board. Sam Porter's there for the Royals. It trickles back to Jack Lamline with 7 seconds left. The bench is saying, hold on to it. He chips it up, and actually the clock runs out. A good period for both teams. At the end of one from the Deep Freeze Ice Arena in Boardman, the score is Canfield 1 and CVCA 1 for the Cardinals. Their goals scored by their senior, number 86, Brian Woke. And then just immediately thereafter, Royals senior captain Gabe Dearden with a laser shot. Another one from the right side beat Corey Kennard to tie it up for the Royals. We're tied 1-1 at the end of one period of play. So we've reached the first intermission from Boardman. The Royals and Canfield Cardinals in a 1-1 tie. That's right. This broadcast coming to you from the trio of Sean Mosher on the camera, and he's just come out to say, hey, I'm having trouble getting pictures in the corner. That is the limitation of this arena, so we apologize if you're not seeing much of the corner action. However, he continues to man the camera and make sure things are working well for us. And then on the all year is Mike Dearden. So shots on goal in the first period, Canfield with 9, CVCA with 4. Once again, Brian Woke got the scoring started. His first goal of the day, it came at 11 minutes and 50 seconds. It put the Canfield Cardinals up 1-0. Off the face-off, a hand pass was called against Canfield, and so they immediately had a second face-off to the left of Corey Kennard. Jack Lamline for CVCA won that back to the right point where Dearden fired and beat Corey Kennard just 9 seconds after the Woke goal, and the score was 1-1. Lamline the assist on the Dearden goal, the goal by Woke unassisted, and that's where we stand at the end of the first period. So once again, we hope you're enjoying the coverage as we step inside now during the first period to simultaneously warm up and check out with our camera crew. We reminded you yesterday about other activities in CVCA athletics, and we'll go over those with you right now during the first period intermission. Friday night, the boys basketball team was on the road at Manchester, but fell short, losing 71-52. In a contest against the Manchester Panthers. The Royals boys basketball team is now off until Tuesday night when they step out of conference for action and a road trip to Streetsboro. The wrestling team was in action on Thursday at Stowe, but the Bulldogs defeated CVCA 51-26 in that contest. Stowe moved their record to 9-1 on the season, so a tough match for the Royals grapplers on Thursday night. The highlight of the evening was, as we told you yesterday, an 11-3 win in the 220-pound category for Stowe's Teddy Gregory. Rather, against Stowe's Teddy Gregory by CVCA's Kyle Snyder. Next up for the Royals wrestling team is a tournament next Saturday in Norwalk, Ohio, the Norwalk tournament in 6 days from now. Huge win yesterday by the CVCA girls basketball team. They had a home contest against the Northwest Indians, and they had a 12-point lead heading into the fourth quarter when Northwest hit a couple of three-point shots right out of the gate to close within 6. From that point on, the Royals played stall ball, holding the ball, and it almost bit them. Northwest closed within 1 point with 2.9 seconds to go and had free throws, but missed at the free throw line. The rebound was controlled by CVCA, and they walked away with a 40-39 victory, avenging the only loss by the Lady Royals this season on the road, 56-54 back in December against those same Northwest Indians. The Royals girls basketball team now has a 9-game winning streak and up their record to 13-3 on the season. This week, the Lady Royals have 3 games coming up, all on the road. They step out of conference to play Nordonia tomorrow. On Wednesday, they travel to Notre Dame Cathedral Latin, and next Saturday, they return to conference action on the road against Tuslaw. As a reminder, all events that happen at home at CVCA in the Tim Byerly Gymnasium are streamed through the NFHS network. That's nfhsnetwork.com, or you can download the NFHS network app on your Apple device or your smartphone. I believe they have apps. They have apps both on Apple and on Android. Thank you. As I look to Sean Mosher to help me out with my words that can't come to the tip of my tongue. So your Apple or your Android phone, look for the NFHS app, and you can stream Royals basketball and wrestling when games are at home. Boys bowling was in action yesterday afternoon. No word, though, on the results. They matched up against Akron East and Akron North. Today, the girls bowling team is in action against Akron North, and then both teams hit the lanes again tomorrow in a game or a match against Ellet. Swimming and diving has been off for some time. They did have a match that was scheduled for last week against Western Reserve Academy, but WRA had to cancel last Tuesday, and they're now off until February the 6th when they wrap up their season against Walsh Jesuit. A reminder for information on scores and schedules for all CVCA athletics teams, please visit the CVCA athletics website at athletics.cvcaroyals.org or check out the CVCA athletics Facebook page. Of course, you can also follow CVCA athletics on Twitter or Instagram. And of course, all information on CVCA hockey live streams can be found through the CVCA athletics internet pages and accounts, and also through CVCA Livestream on Twitter. That's at CVCA Livestream. You can follow that account and get information on hockey, football, and other things that are of interest to you as a viewer of CVCA athletics. So, a number of places to look for the latest on Royals sports. Looking ahead, CVCA hockey will be back in action next Friday night on the road once again at Westlake. It'll be the first time this year that the Royals have matched up and seen Westlake. Westlake appearing to have a much better season this year and improving from a year ago, so it should be another tough matchup for the Royals on the road. Next Saturday, the Royals were scheduled to play NDCL. It would have been the third matchup of the season against the Lions, but that game has been canceled due to coronavirus issues with the NDCL program right now. So unfortunately, NDCL unable to go next week on Saturday. Sunday, the Royals have a home match against Chagrin Falls, and the Tigers, the cream of the crop this year, it looks like, in the Blue North Division. Although they will be challenged when it comes time for the Barron Cup by Normandy and by these Canfield Cardinals, who've played them tough this season. Chagrin Falls gave the Royals a difficult game a week ago on Friday night. The worst loss of the season for CVCA, 11-1. So the Tigers, talented with 9 senior athletes, 9 senior hockey players. So it is their year, they believe, to try and challenge for the elusive Barron Cup. They've not won since the late 2000s. It's been about 13 or 14 years for Chagrin Falls between Barron Cup victories. I believe their last one may have come in 2007 or 2008. They certainly have to be the favorite, but they are certainly by no means a shoo-in to win the Barron Cup. I believe Normandy and these Canfield Cardinals will have something to say about it. And frankly, Lakewood on any given night can give a great game to any one of those teams. And the Royals and these Canfield Cardinals have beaten Lakewood, so the right thing happens and the pucks fall the right way. The Tigers will have to make sure they don't let up. Once again, we are at the first intermission from the Deep Freeze Ice Arena in Boardman, Ohio. The score is CVCA 1 and Canfield 1 in the second leg of a home-and-home series. Goals by Brian Woke for Canfield and Gabe Dearden for CVCA. You're watching the Greater Cleveland High School hockey action today on the Boxcast platform. A reminder that if you're watching on Boxcast, you certainly are able to get Boxcast on your laptop or your mobile phone. If you do have an Apple TV or Roku or Amazon Fire device and you want to watch on your big screen TV, you certainly can do that. You just need to download the Boxcast TV app on one of those platforms and then search for CVCA live stream within the Boxcast TV app. And there you can find the broadcast information and stream it up on your big screen TV and watch from the comfort of your own home. Of course, you can also watch on the CVCA Boosters Athletics page, CVC Boosters YouTube page, that is, rather. So for the YouTube platform, we simulcast these streams. And so if YouTube is your preference and you have that available to you on your big screen TV, you can catch all the Royals hockey action in that fashion. For the moment, we're going to take a break. You can go fill up your beverage of choice this afternoon. And we'll be back shortly with second period action as the Zamboni doing its work on the ice here at the Deep Freeze Ice Arena. It's got about 2 more passes left to go. And then we should be ready for second period action from Boardman. So we have resumed our perch above the far corner. In between periods here from Boardman. We are directly above where the Zamboni came off the ice, and Mike Bearden has just mentioned to me if we die of asphyxiation, it's because we are breathing in fumes from the Zamboni, but we're glad they have one here. And as we said many, many times, we are glad there's a sheet of ice and 2 goals, and we're able to play hockey in 2020 and 2021 in the midst of this coronavirus pandemic. Shout out to the from both schools and doing what is required to make sure that your sons and your daughters and grandsons and granddaughters can get on the ice and play hockey here this season despite all the challenges in front of them. The Royals return to the ice, as do the Cardinals. JT Nichols for CVCA to the ice. We mention it each night, but it is the long change period for both teams, and it doesn't ever seem longer than it does right now, as we are at one end of the ice, and Nichols assumed his spot in the goal at the other end. Yet to head up the side of the ice is Corey Kennard for the Canfield Cardinals. But he will appear shortly as they put 15 minutes back up on the scoreboard. We're ready to go to second period action. Referees taking their spots. And closing the entrance door. That would be a little difficult to play hockey with the door wide open. They do that, the Royals waiting. And here comes Corey Kennard. He's done great in goal the last couple of days, and all season for that matter, with that 2.67 goals against average. The defense in front of him, giving the Cardinals every opportunity in every game to be in them, and they've won 9 of them, looking for their 10th today. So Jack Lamline out to take the draw for the Cardinals. It's Brian Woke, and we want to send an apology apparently to the Woke family. We've just been informed that he is actually the captain of this Cardinals team. We've been giving that credit to Tyler Christie, as the shot is in on JT Nichols right out of the gate here in the second period. Our information on the captaincy of this Cardinals team came to us through reading the fantastic article on Tyler Christie earlier this year that was published that indicated that he's not only but headed to West Point. Looking forward to playing hockey there, and I believe that it did refer to Christie as the captain, so apologies to the Woke family. We try and do the best research we can as parents, and unfortunately that information was not correct. It looks like Woke will spend the next 2 minutes as captain in the penalty box for a tripping call. If we've got that right. Again, if it wasn't him, we'll try and get the right number. But from our vantage point, very hard to see. Nevertheless, the Royals get an early power play opportunity here in the second period. So they control the face-off, and Mosher pushes it in deep. Now he comes in to chase. Actually, Jack Lamline trying to dig it out. Lamline is taken down and kicked to the boards. Without a stick is number 18. That's Scolieri. And he gets it up to a teammate who knocks it out to Dearden. And it's poked back further. A nice play by 33 Eli Dredge. And back to get it for the Royals is Porter and now Lamline. Cross-ice pass finds Ballard at center ice. He moves forward. The Cardinals retreat. Ballard's into the offensive zone. Drops it back for Mosher, who pokes it back in deep. Tries to find Ballard. Poked around the boards. Dearden is there at the left point to keep it in. He funnels it in deep further. Lamline there to get it. Lamline in the corner. He's checked by Scolieri, and Scolieri eliminates Lamline. Dredge comes up with it, and he's going to have a chance for one of those shorthanded opportunities. In he comes. Dredge fires, and he scores shorthanded. We mentioned it yesterday, 3 times last week against St. Edward. These Canfield Cardinals put up shorthanded goals, and Eli Dredge gets another one right there, putting the home team back up 2-1, beating CVCA goaltender JT Nichols. The Cardinals 2-1. A minute and 16 seconds into the second period for the Dredge goal. So the Royals will try and rebound, still with power play opportunity in front of them. Not enter the zone and control. It's cleared down once again by Dredge, the goal scorer. So back to get it is Dearden. And the Royals have it poked back by Canfield once again, so they have to retreat. Now Dearden with it. He evades one of the Canfield defenders through center ice. Dearden at the high slot. Skates in now toward the corner. Fires. Woke with a save. Almost beat him. He was surprised by that quick shot by Gabe Dearden, but I mentioned Woke with the save. It's Kennard with the save. Sorry, I got Woke on the brain. Nice play by Corey Kennard, who was fooled but not fooled completely and able to keep his team with a 2-1 lead. The Royals punch it in deep, and the Cardinals chase. Penalty time almost up, and out of the box comes the Cardinals, back to even strength. Woke back out on the ice. And his team with a 2-1 lead now. Up ice with speed is Scolieri into the offensive zone. Skates into the circle, centering pass, shot is poked aside. Up to the right point. It trickles in. Side pass, it's completed. Scolieri skates into the circle. Centers, shot, and convert are the Cardinals, but they continue to pressure. Into the high slot, Christie. Christie fires. It's kicked aside. But another shot in, and Nichols kicks that one into the corner. Great pressure right now by the Cardinals, who lead it 2-1. Early second period action. The Royals now come up the ice. It's Dearden. Dearden into the offensive zone. Back check by Oak, and it trickles behind the net. Christie funnels it over, and up it goes to Battaglia, who we haven't called today much. Woke has it. Corner. Lamline pushes Woke. Centering pass comes out. Nichols goes down. Now a shot in by number 27, William Epp. The puck. And it comes back out to the right point. Unable to keep it in is 34, Ryan Janik. All the way down the ice it goes. Icing is waved off, and Janik skates on it. Janik funnels it around the boards. Looks up, and he finds 88. That is Drew Rostek. Rostek forward to Dredge. Dredge now into the circles. Behind the goal. Tries to center. Can't find the teammate. It's intercepted by CVCA, and up ice they come. It's Jack Lamline. Lamline to his right. Lamline, short, sharp angle shot, kicked aside by Kennard. And the rebound is to Dredge. Dredge with speed the other direction. Dredge across the blue line. Pushed aside by Mark Mosher, and behind the net he goes, still on his stick. Dredge circles back the other way. Looks, centers, and he looked to find on the doorstep Rostek on the back door. This time it cannot connect on the back door opportunity. Nichols kicked it aside. Around the near side boards it comes to the left point, and CVCA controls. Chipped up and out by Dearden, but pushed back in, and Nichols will have to stop it. Mark Mosher's back there. Dearden waits. Around the boards it comes. Controlled by CVCA's Matthew Porter, but he turns it over. A shot in on Nichols and a stick save. Into the corner it goes once again. And it trickles back out to center ice, where 36, Grayson Orlovsky pushes it in deep for Canfield. This one is chipped out and off the stick at center ice of Canfield's number 34, Ryan Janik. The icing turned over and into the offensive zone, but Lamline wasn't sure if he was going to be onside, so he just poked it in deep. Scolieri gets it. Around the boards it goes. Orlovsky has it on his blade once again, and through center ice he comes. Check that, it's William Epp. Epp into the offensive zone. And now the puck goes in the net. Epp has it. Finds a teammate behind the goal line. Looking some more. Far side boards. Cycled around in deep. Now the near side board. Canfield punches it in deep once again. And a battle ensues. Bodies go flying, and the puck flies down the ice. And icing is called. A stoppage ensues. 9 minutes and 35 seconds approximately. Second period, it's Canfield 2, CVCA 1. Eli Dredge with the goal that broke the tie here, a shorthanded goal. Early in the face-off to the right of JT Nichols here. Controlled by Canfield. Pushed in deep by Epp. The Royals try to cycle it around the boards, but it's intercepted. And around the far boards it comes, but up and out of the zone. Back to get it is Christie. Christie moves forward. He finds Maroon, Antonio Maroon, one of the Maroon brothers. He pushes it in deep where Zach Nichols is on it. He chips it up. It doesn't go far, though. And now controlled by Canfield. A shot comes back in. Nichols dives, and the Royals clear the puck out, and this will be an icing CVCA. So once again, the action happening fast and furious in the Canfield offensive zone where CVCA is defending. That is the far end of the ice from where we are perched. And we are peering through the dark netting. So a little hard to see the numbers on that end of the ice as we call the action for you. But we're doing our best. Face-off has dropped down, poked up, but now back in as it's deflected into the corner. It looks like that's Woke who pushes in further deeper. Around the boards it goes, and out comes out. And pushed back in deep once again. Royals control in the corner, but just for a moment it's turned over. Shot, one-timer is wide of Nichols' goal. Christie in deep now. He's hit by Nichols, but he gets a centering pass off, and it's poked out of the zone where the Royals with an opportunity. Lamline pushes it in deep. Back to get it is Christie, though. Christie has it on his stick, pokes it up to 88. That's Rostek. Cross-ice path, and now Woke has it through center ice. And it's met at the blue line by CVCA. Zach Nichols pokes up and drops down. Now it falls back out, and the Royals push it back. Tyler Carney has it in the defensive zone. Cross-ice pass to Christie. He gets it up to center ice, where it's pushed back in deep further, and the teams chase. Knocked back out. Carney has it once again, and Carney fires it in. Nichols has to make a stop from the red line. The save for the senior goaltender for CVCA. It's back. Christie centering pass actually on Nichols. He has to make a stop, but he dives and makes the save and stoppage for CVCA. 7 minutes and 33 seconds to go, second period. Midway through the contest, to the period and the game, at least regulation. The score is Canfield 2, CVCA 1. The face-off will happen to the right of JT Nichols. And the Royals control this one, but cannot clear the zone. Dearden back out after a break, far side. And it's poked up and out. Kanar will play it, funnel it, and feather it aside to his teammate. That's Ryan Janik, who pokes it up the ice. And at center ice, Caden Ballard goes for a fall. Now it's turned over, shot against Nichols, wide of the goal. Centering pass cannot connect, and the Royals escape. Near side boards, and CVCA has a man down. A huge hit. The Royals with two men from yesterday's game, are a man and a woman. And the Royals not happy once again. Two of their players. Morgan Joy out with a concussion. And this time, getting up. Trying to get a number on that for CVCA. It is Sam Porter, the assistant captain, number 10 for the Royals, who took that hard hit into the boards and went down to his knees. The stoppage ensued, and Porter. This one is up and out of the zone, into the defensive zone, where Christie skate out hard on the board. He finds Janik. Janik surveys. He's got plenty of time. Janik across the blue line, still looking to find a passing partner. He finds one, and it's poked in deep, where Caden Ballard chases after it for CVCA. It's on his stick, and up it goes. It's going to finally get across the ice, a slow-moving puck across the end line, rather, for an icing against CVCA stoppage at, it looks like perhaps 6 minutes exactly. Again, hard for us to see on the angle we're at, but I think that the 6 in front of the 2 zeros, so we'll call it 6 minutes exactly to go in the second period. The face-off will be in the offensive zone for the Cardinals. Off the face-off, a shot is knocked down before it gets to Nichols' goal. It's poked up and out of the zone, and right back in, it's sent by Ryan Janik. The Royals chip it up, but not out. It's kept in at the point. And still in. Behind the goal, I think that's Woke. Into the corner. He chases with Dearden. It's chipped forward, and Ballard pokes it out of the zone. And for a moment, the Royals breathe, but Janik is on it. And he pokes it off the board. Ricochets to Woke. He's onside in the circle, skating in. Centering pass. Shot wide of the goal. not on target. A great opportunity once again. Now Woke with speed. Skates into the corner. Circling. Tries a wraparound shot. Cannot score. And it's poked up and out by CVCA and chased down the ice. Icing is called before Brian Woke. 1 goal for him today so far. 2 goals for the Canfield Cardinals. And that's enough for a 1-goal lead as they pressure CVCA hot and heavy here in second period action. 4 minutes and 57 seconds to go in the second period. The Cardinals in search of their 10th victory of the season. CVCA looking for win number 7. Face-off is dropped down and won by the Cardinals. Woke pushes it in deep. Once again, check that. It's number 36, Grayson Orlovsky. And a score and a goal. 3rd goal of the day for the Cardinals. They go up 3-1. That was a goal you could see coming for some time as the pressure continued to mount for the Cardinals. And finally they convert. 2nd goal of the second period and 3rd of the day. Time of the goal, 10 minutes and 10 seconds. 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the second period. And the goal scored by number 33, Eli Dredge, his 2nd of the afternoon, his 4th of the weekend for Dredge, the senior forward for the Canfield Cardinals. Off the face-off, the Royals have it in the offensive zone. Around the boards it goes. Pushed around by Grayson Orlovsky. Up and out where Lamline through center ice. Fires it in around the boards. To the safe arms and stick of Tyler Christie. But up it comes and a penalty upcoming against Jack Lamline. Lamline will go off 2 minutes for hooking. As the boards, Lamline came together with one of the Canfield Cardinals and he went to the ground. Lamline will go to the penalty box. Opportunity for the Cardinals, who already are on top in this one, 3-1. Canfield controls the face-off. They get it up to the left point. That's Scolieri. Cross-ice fired in on goal, and JT Nichols makes the stop. Looked like Christie fired that one in, number 9. They drop the puck down once again. Christie has it, pokes it in deep to the corner. The Royals try to clear it out, and they do. All the way down ice, and Kadar will field it. Out comes Canfield. Turned over at center ice by Drew Rostek. And the Royals for a moment try to get it in. It comes back to them, and now into the defensive zone, but only for a moment. Quickly set back out by Matt Scolieri. Christie enters the zone. Barrows his way past Caden Ballard. Fires a shot on JT Nichols, who makes the stop. The Royals get control and try and clear, but Gabe Dearden fires it into the bench of the Canfield Cardinals. Throws up his hand saying, "Didn't mean to do that, guys. Sorry about that." In fact, Dearden intended to send that down the ice, but the fact that his target was off means that the Royals will have a defensive zone face-off to the left of JT Nichols. And once again, Christie pushes it in deep further, finds a teammate down there. Behind the net it goes, centering pass wide of the goal of Nichols, controlled still by Canfield. Cross ice in the high slot. Christie has it backhanded on the goal. Nichols with the first save, kicks it aside, and a shot from point blank range, and Nichols is on it once again. Another save for the senior goaltender. 46 seconds to go on the penalty to Jack Lamline. 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the second period. Face off to the right of Nichols this time around. And the Royals control, poke it up, but just out as the Canfield Cardinals tried to keep it in. It was overskated, but they right back. Back behind the goal it goes. Into the near corner. Cross ice pass Scoliari pushes it in further deep. Christie has it in the corner, behind the goal. Centered, actually back behind the goal is Christie. Fired right in front of the crease. Nichols makes a save, and the Royals come out with it, but dispossessed. And then finally back on the blade of Gabe Dearden, who sends it down the ice. 3 seconds left on the power play, and that will do it for the Canfield Cardinals power play. Landline back on the ice. 5-on-5 are the teams, and 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the second period. Still the Cardinals pressure. And the puck now trickles down the ice. We're out to the dots. Fields it once again and leaves it for a teammate. Woke being pressured behind the goal. Comes up with it, and up the ice it goes. He finds Dredge with a pair of goals, looking for the hat trick today. Shot on Nichols and a save, and Nichols dives on it and gets the stoppage. A minute 33 it looks like to go here in the second period, with the Cardinals pressuring the Royals, already leading 3-1, looking for more. Mark Mosher heads off. Zach Nichols comes on the ice for CVCA. The face-off to the left of his brother JT Nichols. It comes to the corner where Zach Nichols chips it up. It's out of the zone, and a race is on. Lamline trying to get it. It's poked aside and up the ice, where Tyler Carney clears it out of play into the Royals bench, and it'll be a defensive zone face-off for the Cardinals upcoming. We'll see if the Royals can win the face-off and get an opportunity. Their goal today was generated just like that. Off a face-off, back to Dearden, who fired it past Carney. Other than that, it's been slim pickings for the Royals and offensive opportunities. They do win it to the slot. It's shot in, and Dearden has it knocked down. Back after it is Matthew Porter. That's to the slot to Ballard. Ballard has it on his blade, fires toward the goal. A save has to be made by Carney. It comes back to the point, checked back in, and Carney has it. So Kanar with a save, a couple of saves there, keeping his team with a 2-goal lead as we're down to about 1 minute to go here in the second period. Nichols, JT that is, plays it around the boards. It's up and out of the zone. Put the speed on, so does number 18, Scoliari. He wins the battle, but only for a moment as the Royals clear it out of the zone. 34, Janik pokes it back in, and it's cleared back out where Lamline is on it. A collision in the defensive zone. Scoliari and Dearden. Dearden loses a stick. Meanwhile, the puck is up ice into the offensive zone. Dearden gets himself comported as Scoliari is back into the offensive zone, and a penalty taken by CVCA. Another power play opportunity upcoming as Kanar heads off. The extra man heads on. 6-on-5 for the rest of the period, or until a stoppage happens. And finally, the touch is made and fired down on the empty net, but the net was empty because the Royals' Zach Nichols appears to have taken a hooking penalty, and he will go into the box with 14 seconds and a fraction to go here in the second period. So, a second power play opportunity in the last 4 minutes for the Cardinals, who will play a man up. They drop the puck down. It's pushed behind the net. The Royals clear the zone, and with it is Ballard. Ballard, a shorthanded chance from the slot, fires, and it's chipped up off and over the goal of Kanar. And the clock winds out, and that'll do it for the second period. A period controlled, just like yesterday, by the Canfield Cardinals, who get 2 in period number 2. This time they go to the break and the second intermission with a lead of 3-1. So a 3-1 the score at the end of 2 periods. A closer game than the one yesterday so far, but still the Royals looking up at the scoreboard at the Canfield Cardinals as we go to the break. In that second period, the Cardinals' 2 goals scored both by number 33, senior Eli Dredge. His first one, a shorthanded goal at 13 minutes, 44 seconds remaining, so 1 minute and 16 seconds into that second period. It put the Cardinals up 2-1, and then Dredge again at 10 minutes and 10 seconds after after a prolonged amount of pressure by the Cardinals on the Royals defensive zone. The pressure got his second of the day, his fourth of the weekend for the Cardinals, and that is where we stand at the end of 2 periods. The score, Canfield 3 and CVCA 1. That second period was dominated by the Cardinals, who put 15 on CVCA goaltender JT Nichols, a 2-period total of 24. And for Cardinals goaltender Corey Knar, he saw just 2 shots, and those were at the end of the period. Just 2 shots on goal for CVCA, and in fact, just 6 for the entire day. And you can see through 2 periods, the Royals definitely missing the extra offensive firepower of their junior forward, Luke Parada, and second line teammate Morgan Joy, both out today. The Royals playing shorthanded without 2 of their top 6 forward players and getting only 6 shots on goal so far during the contest. So 3-1. Not a whole lot of face-offs in that second period, just 6, and the team split them 3 apiece. So the Royals have won 7 face-offs today. It's been pretty wide open action. 6 face-off wins for the Canfield Cardinals so far. And the Zamboni back on the ice. We're going to take a break right now and head back into the warmth of the upstairs lobby area. You'll hear silence for a little bit, but we thank you for watching. You are watching CVCA Royals hockey on the Boxcast Network. My name is Tim Nichols. Bringing you the broadcast today, Sean Mosher on the pictures and Mike Dearden on the statistics. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with the second intermission coverage in just a few moments. So as we just told you, we're taking a break. We've been informed we are very distant from where Sean Mosher is, that he's got the open house graphic up there. So we will tell you that if you have an interest in Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy for your son or your daughter or your grandson or granddaughter, there's an opportunity this week on Thursday, January 28th. It's the first of 2 open houses for you to come visit CVCA. You do need to sign up for that, so please head on to the website for Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy at www.cvcaroyals.org and sign up for either the open house that occurs on January 28th. There are 2 sessions, one from 4 to 5 o'clock, and after the staff at CVCA has a chance to clean the facility and the areas once again to make sure it's ready for the second wave of people, there will be a second session for the open house at 6 o'clock from 6 to 7 p.m. on Thursday night this week, January the 28th. There will be a second opportunity to attend an open house at CVCA the following week. It's 1 week from Tuesday, on Tuesday evening, February the 2nd, February 2, the 2nd of February, Groundhog's Day. Again, 4 to 5 and 6 to 7, and you do need to sign up in advance for that, so it's very easy to do. Just head on over to the CVCA website at cvcaroyals.org and look for the open house information. There should be a pop-up, actually, that usually will pop up on screen, and you can sign up there and let the staff at CVCA know that you are interested and you're planning to come either on January 28th or February 2nd. Entrance exams for admission to CVCA are scheduled. There's one scheduled for a week from Monday on February the 1st. That will take place on the campus of CVCA at 1:30 p.m. The second one will be 1 month later on March the 1st, and that one will take place at 8:30 in the morning, again, on the campus of Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. We are at the second intermission from the Deep Freeze Ice Rink in Boardman, Ohio, home of the Canfield Cardinals, and the Cardinals do lead this one by a score of 3-1 behind goals from Brian Woke and a pair of goals from Eli Dredge. The Royals' lone goal today scored by Gabe Dearden. We made mention of it during the second period, but we did read this week in preparation for the game about the great story about number 9 for Canfield, Tyler Christie, who will be spending the next 4 years serving our country at the U.S. Military Academy in West Point. So congratulations go out to him. That is a great honor, and we look forward to cheering him on and looking for him perhaps in future ice hockey games involving the Army Black Knights. And I'm sure his family is watching along, and they will say, "Go Army, beat Navy." It's always a fun event to watch the annual Army-Navy game each December when the two teams come together. And that's certainly a bucket list item, and one in which young Christie will have a chance to attend a number of times before he goes on to serve our country. So again, shout out to him, and tip of the cap to him and to his Canfield teammates and family and extended family for all the things that they've done to help put him in that place. For the Royals, there was an announcement overnight, and we want to congratulate senior goaltender JT Nichols, who publicly announced last evening that he will spend the next 4 years playing football in the suburbs of Chicago with the Wheaton Thunder. So JT Nichols, an all-state selection this year at left tackle for the Royals football team that went 8-3, will be the third member of the 2020 CVCA Royals football team to go on and play Division III college football. Check that he's the second member because his teammate on the line, Jack Bova, the right tackle for the Royals, will play for Olivet Nazarene in Illinois next year, which is an NAIA school. So earlier this month, David Lewis announced he would spend the next 4 years attending the University of Worcester and play football there for the Worcester Scots. So JT Nichols making his college choice known overnight and announcing that. Congratulations to him. Right now, Nichols and his Royals trailing Christie and his Cardinals 3-1 as we await second intermission action, which is limited to the Zamboni cleaning the ice to be completed, and ready ourselves for the third period. We mentioned earlier today that the Barron Cup is upcoming and imminent. We learned yesterday that they would actually start a week early in the Blue North Division, or the Blue Division overall. It looks like those games will happen the week of February 1st for the preliminary rounds. And this year, if you've been paying attention, unlike previous years, all teams will qualify for the Barron Cup or have the opportunity to participate in the Barron Cup because of the number of cancellations this year of teams dealing with the coronavirus pandemic and impacts on their schedules. An even number of games could not be played. We know the Mayfield Wildcats have not been able to play much more than a couple of games. NDCL is shut down right now for the moment due to COVID as well. And there have been other teams impacted throughout the year. That the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League indicated that every team this year would have the opportunity to participate, easy for me to say, in the Barron Cup. Seeding for the Barron Cup will take place, I believe, this Tuesday, where the coaches in the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League will get together. And then the games will be put on the calendar. So stay tuned to your local team's website or the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League Twitter account or other media accounts for information. But it looks like, I believe, the games will begin on or about February the 3rd up in Brooklyn, Ohio. And no doubt these Canfield Cardinals will have a thing or two to say about who advances and how things play out in the Blue Division. The Royals qualified for the Barron Cup last 2 years ago when they had an amazing run through the tournament and brought home their second Barron Cup trophy in 3 years. The senior members of this team, as well as the juniors, were all on that Barron Cup winning team that defeated Parma 2-1 in the final. Gabe Dearden sent the Royals into the final with a goal in double overtime against the Normandy Invaders in the semifinal round 2 years ago. And then the Royals got two first period goals 2 years ago in the Barron Cup final against Parma and made that stand-up winning 2-1. So CVCA will get another opportunity. They won the Barron Cup in 2019, and the Royals won it again in 2017. So 2 times in the last 5 seasons, the Royals were Barron Cup champions. This year, it looks like it may be an uphill battle for CVCA, but with the entire blue apparently playing, we'll wait to see where the seedings come out, and the Blue South teams may offer an opportunity for both of these teams to get perhaps an easier first round opponent and at least stay around in the Barron Cup for multiple days. And I'm sure these Canfield Cardinals have lofty goals as well. We mentioned that Chagrin Falls, perhaps the cream of the crop with 9 seniors. They have to be considered the heavy favorites to take home the Division III Blue Division Barron Cup Championship this year, but Normandy Invaders, these Canfield Cardinals, the Lakewood Rangers, and the Royals all looking to nip at their heels and see if they can loft the trophy when the championship occurs up in Brooklyn. It's the 50th anniversary of the Barron Cup this year, and if you've never had a chance to get up there, if you can't get there this year because of the coronavirus restrictions on spectators, and we do not know how they will handle things in the Brooklyn Arena this year, but it's a bucket list item, I would say almost as much as that Army-Navy game we were talking about before. To get up there and cheer your school at the Barron Cup, lots of history up in Brooklyn. And make sure to circle the date on the calendar to get yourself a chance to experience that sometime, if not this year, in the future when the Barron Cup does take place. The championship of the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League, a league that hosts or claims host to 34 different teams throughout Northeast Ohio. And we're looking forward to how the Barron Cup transpires this season. Once again, you are tuned into CVCA Royals Hockey. We are nearing the end of the second intermission. The score here from Boardman, Ohio today, the Deep Freeze Ice Arena. The Canfield Cardinals 3, the Royals 1. The Cardinals looking to make it back-to-back victories over CVCA this weekend, winning yesterday by a score of 7-2 up in Garfield Heights, Ohio. And today the Cardinals leading 3-1. They will start the third period upcoming on the power play with Jack Lamline for the Royals. Check that with Zach Nichols for the Royals in the penalty box for another minute 46 seconds here in the third period as it gets underway. The Zamboni has retreated off the ice, and so we will head back to our perch in the corner of the arena. It's been nice being warm here in the loft. The voices you hear in the background are kids playing behind us, but we'll head back out to the perch and look forward to bringing you third period action as the referees have returned, and so too have the Cardinals. They're the first ones back on the ice as we look to get back underway for period number 3. We head back out. You can probably hear the music and the sounds of the arena increase. Out come the Royals. JT Nichols leads them out. He's followed by Karsten Hauk, the backup sophomore goaltender for CVCA. Hauk has a couple of wins to his credit this season. He played in the opening game of the season against Nordonia and registered the victory. And then he came in relief after JT Nichols had a skate issue just 4.5 minutes into a game against NDCL about 2 weeks ago. Might have been 3 weeks ago now, in January. Nichols' skate blade came apart, and so Hauk had to go in and play the final 40 minutes of that game. The Royals trailed 1-0 when Hauk entered the game, ended up winning, I believe it was 8-2. And Hauk got credit for, check that, it was 8-4, my memory serves me correctly. But Hauk did get credit for the victory against NDCL. So it's been good for CVCA to have a backup goaltender this year. Last season, when the Royals were in the White South Division, Nichols was the only goaltender for CVCA and played every minute of the season for CVCA. So this year, Nichols getting the majority of the minutes, but Hauk also getting action Karsten Hauk has also played a couple of contests against Whitmer from the Toledo area, and he played a game against Brush, which was the first ever JV game as it was billed. Only CVCA sophomores and freshmen played in that contest against the Brush team, which is from the lower Blue South division. So in addition to that, Karsten Hauk's got a bit of mop-up duty in a couple of other games this season, and he's fared fairly well for his first year on the ice. But it's Nichols' goal today, 3-1 the score. Canfield with a power play opportunity to start this third period as the teams head out to center ice. The referee is ready. Jack Lamline steps up, and will be faced by Brian Woke. Is dropped down, and we're underway. Power play for the Canfield Cardinals for the next minute and 40 seconds. Through center ice, and it's poked back into the defensive zone and cleared by Jack Lamline. The Cardinals set up, cross ice pass intended for Drew Rostek, but he can't handle it. Gabe Dearden is on it, and Dearden pokes it forward out of the zone. And a delayed offside as it comes back right. Dearden, he's got time. Will sit back and wait, and then he throws it down the ice where Matt Scolieri retrieves it for Canfield. And now the Cardinals head back up ice and try and set up the power play in the offensive zone. They leave the puck, and it's poked in further. A chance. Cross ice pass doesn't find Woke, who was there on the doorstep, up to the point and falling down. Out of the zone it comes. And so the Cardinals have to clear it out. They get back on side and push it back in, but Dearden will get it again and send it down where it's met at center ice. Onside of the Cardinals, and with some speed coming in is Woke. Centering pass, but no one there. Rostek, no one behind the end line, and Jack Lamline has it. Lamline sends it around the boards. The referee and escapes with his life in hand as the puck whizzes past his ear. It's retrieved at center ice and back into the offensive zone for the Cardinals. Scolieri behind the goal. Has time, looks, left point, finds a teammate. I believe that's Christie. He fires, but it's deflected, and Lamline tries to get it. Lamline might have an opportunity, and he's now hauled down. Slams into the boards, and a stoppage. And if that's not a penalty, I don't know what is. Meanwhile, Lamline down in the corner, I believe, gets back up. Neither referee had a hand up. Lamline with a free pass to the goal. JT Nichols yells, "That's illegal," but not today. All that is a hockey play, and it'll be a face-off to the right of Corey Knar. Frankly, I'm not sure how that's not a hooking penalty or something. In fact, they take the puck outside the defensive zone. The Cardinals escape. No worse for wear. Still 4 seconds to go on the Zach Nichols penalty. The puck is pushed into the Royals. Soon we'll be back to even strength, and we are. Penalty time is up. Canfield heads into their offensive zone. Eli Dredge has it, pokes it around the boards. Caden Ballard pokes it up, but not out for CVCA. Dredge is back on it and fires right into the glove of JT Nichols. And Woke goes to the Lamline. They have words. And Lamline skates away. So the face-off will be to the left of JT Nichols, and no surprise, the teams who have now played 5 periods against each other in 24 hours getting a little testy. Face-off comes through the slot. Dearden collects it for CVCA and pokes it up and out for the Royals. Icing is the call, though, and they'll bring the puck back into the CVCA defensive zone for a face-off to the right of JT Nichols. Third period action, Canfield leads it 3-1. 12 minutes and 17 seconds, I believe it looks like, maybe, to play here in the third period. They drop the puck down. It's controlled by the Cardinals. Pushed in deep. Dearden chases after it for CVCA. He's met by and gets past Antonio Maroon. Chips it to himself. Up the boards it goes. Still not out. And finally clears the zone, does CVCA. Intercepted by Sam Porter, but only for a moment. Back on the stick of Maroon. Maroon into the corner. It's collected by the Cardinals. Centering pass to Tyler Christie off the stick of William Epp. Christie fires on Nichols, who makes the save for the Royals and a stoppage. So we said 12-17. It must have been 12-47 because now it's 12-20 that we can visually see on the scoreboard remaining in the third period. Face-off push forward off the draw by Lamline. He chases forward after it. Ballard comes up with it into the offensive zone on the near side boards. Ballard still chasing, doing the come up with it. Falls down. Has it on his stick, fires it back in, but a delayed offsides. Ballard coming to the bench asking for a stick because his stick is behind the goal. On the ice comes Sam Porter on his stick for just a moment. And the Cardinals control through the neutral zone. With speed, they push it into the corner. Chasing after it is CVCA's Nichols. But the Cardinals now from the dot. For the goal by Dredge, looking for the hat trick. Back around the board, Dredge will chase it for the Cardinals. Pushes it back in deep, kicked ahead by Zach Nichols. And pushed up, backhanded, but not out by Sam Porter and sent back in, where JT Nichols will try and stop it. It goes to Dearden. Dearden now will try and skate out with it. Dearden evades a couple and is tripped, and finally a call against the Cardinals. Sam Porter has it, so JT Nichols heads out of the goal. Porter fires, and Corey Kennard with a rare save that he has to make right into the breadbasket. He does. A stoppage ensues, and the Royals will have a power play opportunity. So what we learn is tripping is allowed as a penalty. What happened earlier with Jack Lamline in the corner is not. Regardless, CVCA with a power play opportunity. Time of the penalty appears to be 3 minutes 25 seconds. 11:35 it appears to go. In the box, Eli Dredge. Royals control the face-off in the corner. Cross ice, Dearden fires. It's knocked down in front and out of play, I believe. Actually saved by Kennard. Saved by Kennard. Again, from our vantage point, we're looking through a dark net at the far end of the ice. Think of it like visibility when it's raining hard on a nighttime drive. And that's kind of what we're looking at here from this end. Off the face-off, the Cardinals clear it down the ice. Dearden retrieves it for CVCA, and he'll matriculate up, and he gets another penalty, and the Royals with a big opportunity now as a second tripping penalty goes against the Cardinals. The Royals will have a 5-on-3 power play opportunity for 1 minute and 33. Dredge goes into the box first, and this time it looks like the penalty will go against Brian Woke. So CVCA undermanned today, perhaps out-talented a bit by these Cardinals, who are having a great season, but in the game, face-off is back to Dearden. He fires from the high slot, but it's cleared down the ice after a save is made, and JT Nichols will leave it for Mark Mosher. The Royals with a great opportunity to get closer and back into this contest here, but Mosher's met at center ice, and Canfield fires it back where the Royals will have to retreat again. This time Lamline has it on his stick. He enters the offensive zone, skates fast to his right, leaves it back to the point to Dearden. Dearden fires a cross-ice pass, and it's off the stick of Mosher and out to center ice. Back into the offensive zone. Dearden battles, but Scolieri comes up with the puck, fires it around the boards. Can they keep it in at the point? It is kept in for the moment, but now chipped out, and look out, another shorthanded opportunity for these Canfield Cardinals. Penalty taken by the Royals, Jack Lamline, as Scolieri was driving in, and Lamline will go off. So we'll go to 4-on-3 for 32 seconds. Lamline into the box, a third tripping penalty in the last minute and a half. And so the penalty to Dredge has 33 seconds left on it. They put the penalty to Brian Woke on the Royals side of the board. He has exactly 1 minute remaining, and Lamline will have 2 minutes in the box. So The Royals will have a 4-on-3 for 32 seconds, and then we'll have 28 seconds of 4-on-4 and a minute power play for the Canfield Cardinals to wrap it all up. The Royals, with the 4-on-3 advantage, send it out to center ice, but perhaps forget they're on the power play as it's sent right back in. Now Dearden skates up on the 4-on-3. Through center ice comes the senior for CVCA. Goes to his left, circles back, surveys, leaves it for Mark Mosher. Mosher back to Dearden down low. Dearden gets closer, fires on Kanar, who drops right down on the puck and makes the save. And the penalty time to Eli Dredge expires, and he heads back out onto the ice. And so we'll have 4-on-4 hockey for 27 seconds, and then a 1-minute power play for the Cardinals. Face off one back to Dearden at the high slot. He fires. It's knocked down. Dearden gets it back, fires it in again. Sam Porter jumps out of the way. He gets it behind the goal, and Kanar will dive on it for a stoppage. Canfield 3, CVCA 1, 8 minutes and 55 seconds to go in the third period. Face off to the right of Kanar. It's won by the Cardinals. Up the ice it comes out of the zone where Dearden has it on his stick and sends it, or tries to send it back in, and a huge collision at center ice. Down goes a Cardinal, but with it is one of the Cardinals, fires on JT Nichols. That was Rostick, I believe, and Nichols with the pad save and then gloves it down for the stop. How many shots this period, Mike?
5 for 3. 5 CVCA, 3.
That's the third shot of the period for the Cardinals. The Royals with 5 this period, says Mike Dearden. Nichols face off to his right. Ballard will take it for CVCA. It's controlled back at 1 by Eli Dredge. Cardinals have it at the left point. Now they're on the power play. 5-on-4 for the Cardinals for 1 minute. Scoliari skates behind the end line. Pressured by Mosher. Picks it up. Rostick back to Scoliari. Mosher with the pressure. Scoliari has it again. Leaves it for Rostick. Rostick on the near side boards. Dumps it in deep. Finds a teammate. That's Dredge. Dredge looks up to the high slot. He's got a man. It's Scoliari. Fired and deflected. The far side corner. Christie's on it. Back to Dredge, I believe. He looks for Christie. It gets by him into the behind the boards. Zach Nichols pressuring for the Royals, but Brian Woke gets it to Dredge. Dredge fires. It gets by Nichols on the near side and pushed back in deep for the Cardinals on the power play. And the Royals able to clear it. We're down to 4 seconds left on the power play, and so both teams escape any harm in the series of penalties. And we're back to even strength once again, 5-on-5. Nichols pushes it up, and he's going to find Caden Ballard. Kanar has to come out and clear that out of harm's way. He does, into the corner. Ballard was down there, and he gets leveled. Stick goes flying, yard sale, and up ice it comes for the Cardinals. Lamline giving pressure to Brian Woke. Woke retrieves the puck, evades Lamline. Nichols pushes him aside, and Lamline gives him a further push. The teams battle near the boards. Woke comes back in and levels Lamline. Nichols gets it up and clears it down the ice, and more action behind the play. Penalty coming, and I think Woke may be going into the box if they don't both go. They had yesterday. Woke heading to the box, perhaps. Skating in that direction, and they let it all go. The hand was up for an icing call against CVCA. So both players play. There definitely was pushing and shoving and perhaps a slash, and we'll give both players credit. Equal opportunity battles going on behind the. Meanwhile, puck is dropped back down and cleared out by the Royals' Mark Mosher. Back to get it is the Cardinals will push it back in deep, but from beyond the red line, icing is called. We've got a stoppage that ensues. We're down to, I believe, 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Again, very hard to see the clocks on either side of the rink here and tell whether that's a 6 or a 5, but we believe it is 6:45. The face-off will be in the Royals' offensive zone. Canfield with a 3-1 lead. Controlled by the Canfield Cardinals, pushed up but not out. Dearden has it at the right point, winds up and fires. A save by Kennard, he drops it down. The battle for the puck ensues, and it's kicked out by the Cardinals out of harm's way. Push forward. The race is on. Mark Mosher gets to it first and wins the race. And out of the zone, out of harm's way it comes, delayed offsides against the Canfield Cardinals. Mosher has it, pokes it up off a helmet and into the defensive zone for the Cardinals. It was off a Cardinal helmet, and therefore icing is waved off. Canfield 3, CVCA 1. The Cardinals push up to the neutral zone with more pressure, and Dearden levels the Canfield Cardinals player at the blue line. The Cardinals do gain the zone, however. They push it in deep. Back to get it is William Epp. Centering pass and a score. Matt Scolieri, and a taunting point to add on that the referees let go. Scolieri on the celebration is one thing. The taunt at JT Nichols, the senior goaltender, is a whole nother thing. Congratulations to the Cardinals, who take the lead 4-1. And certainly they've earned the victory yesterday. And the Royals can muster up a dramatic comeback. A little extra enthusiasm there, but the teams play on once again. Scolieri from Epp on the goal, 4-1, as we're down to about 5.5 minutes to go in the contest. Fired, shot by Zach Nichols, is knocked down from the high slot. And the Royals get back on side. The puck trickles through the neutral zone, and it's sent back the other direction by Lamline, but it comes onto the skit of one of the Cardinals, and a huge save by JT Nichols. He lost his stick. The puck was behind him, and I believe Nichols' skate may have kicked the puck into the back of the net. Nichols made the first save. Did not know where the puck was, and after a momentary, puck found its way into the back of the net, so 5-1. A crazy goal that time for the Canfield Cardinals. They came in on a breakaway. Nichols made the stop. The stick went flying, and when he resumed his space in the crease, kicked the puck into the. And now Coach Doug Fairchild asking for an explanation. Nichols comes out to the faceoff dot. He's curious as well, but no explanation needed. Puck crossed the end line. Wait to see who they give that one to. Tyler Christie. And Cole Morris on the scorebook with the assist for the Canfield Cardinals. They control once again. Nichols kicks another one aside. 5-1 now. The Cardinals with 2 goals back-to-back have blown this one open in the third period. As the teams battle behind the CVCA net. Up to the left point, Tyler Carney pokes it in further deep, controlled by Mario Battaglia. Back up to Carney, who sends it in deep once again. Near side boards, chasing after it is number 20, Jason Hammer. We haven't called his name yet this weekend. And the Royals momentarily clear the zone, but it's sent right back in. Mark Mosher kicks it up, and out it comes. Sam Porter sends it forward, where again the Cardinals send it back, and Zach Nichols fires it down for an icing. A stoppage at 4 minutes and 12 seconds to go here in the third period. Canfield now 5 and CVCA 1. Face-off will be to the right of JT Nichols. The Royals control this one. They poke it up, but not out. Fired in on Nichols, who makes another glove save for CVCA. And hands the puck off to the referee for another face-off. They drop this one down, and again the Royals control. Zach Nichols poked it up, but not out. It's sent right back in. He'll have to retrieve it in the corner. Behind the net it goes. Mosher's on it. In front of the goal, it comes to Zach Nichols. Tries to passes up. He finds 15 for CVCA Tyler Young. Through the neutral zone it comes. Now controlled by the Cardinals. Cross ice pass is poked away and trickles forward in the neutral zone. The team's now extending the benches a little bit, and CVCA sends it down the ice. They wave off the icing, and it looks like Christie back to retrieve it for the Cardinals. Up it comes. Mark Mosher keeps it in for CVCA and takes a hit for his efforts. Behind the net it goes, now controlled by the Cardinals. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Jack Lamline tries to get it over to Young. It comes out to center ice. Lamline back on it for the Royals. He retreats all the way down to his end line, fires it up the ice, and it's intercepted off the Cardinals, so Lamline gets it back. He skates through the neutral zone to his left with some speed. Lamline goes, backhands toward Knorr. Tyler Young tries to get it and poke it forward. It's poked aside, and all the way down the ice it comes, where Mark Mosher retrieves it. 2.5 to go. 5-1 Canfield. Mosher through center zone, fires, kicked aside by Knorr into the near side boards. Mosher chases after it, sends it to the slot. It's intercepted by the Cardinals. They clear the zone, and up ice it comes for an icing against Canfield. A stoppage at 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go from Boardman, Ohio at the Deep Freeze Ice Arena. Canfield 5, CVCA 1. The Cardinals 2 minutes and 12 seconds away from their 10th victory of the season. The Royals back to the drawing, and they'll face the the Westlake Demons, I believe they are, next Friday night. Cardinals skate out a fifth skater. Face off to the left of Knorr. Punched forward by Caden Ballard. Behind the net it goes. Sam Porter there to chase it for CVCA. Ballard with a check at center ice. And Sam Porter comes up with the puck. Porter heads the other direction into the offensive zone. Stick taps by the Canfield teammates, and they dump it in deep. JT Nichols there to stop it. He better hurry and look out. Get back in his goal. The Cardinals, number 77. That's Bryce Daggett, falls down behind the net. Lamline has it. We're on about a minute and a half to go. Lamline through center ice. And an offside is called against CVCA. So the face-off will be coming out to the neutral zone area. The face-off dot in front of the Canfield Cardinals bench. A minute and 23 seconds it looks like to go in this contest. Sam Porter takes it for the Royals. Alex Frazier gets a shift. She tries to get to it, cannot. And in come the Cardinals for one more. Centering pass looking for Woke. He can't get a stick on it from Dredge. The Royals have Frazier out there, also Chloe Polanski, so the bench all the way emptied for CVCA in the final minute here. Meanwhile, the starters still out for the Canfield Cardinals. And clears it out. We're down to a minute to go for Canfield and CVCA. The Cardinals 5, the Royals 1. Through center ice it comes. And poked in behind the boards where Mark Mosher pokes it up forward, and out it goes. It trickles into the offensive zone. Not enough momentum for an icing, so back to get it is Grayson Orlovsky. He pushes it forward to the neutral zone. It comes to Mosher. He sends it back in deep for the Royals. 22 seconds left. Behind the goal, Matthew Porter tries to come up with it, and a stoppage occurs. And it looks like perhaps a penalty is being called. Porter draws a penalty against 36 Orlovsky, perhaps hooking. He goes into the box and he'll stay there for the final 22 seconds of this one. Looks like 22.4. Royals with a brief power play. It was Orlovsky for hooking. The Cardinals clear it down, and Lamline has to get it out of harm's way as a 2-on-1 defense shorthanded opportunity was materializing. And here comes another goal, knocked down by Lamline as the clock winds down. Into the corner it goes, and a penalty is going to go against CVCA at the final buzzer. Number 24 for the Royals, Jackson Sullivan, will take a penalty. But the horn sounds, and it's all academic at this point. The win goes to the Canfield Cardinals. They take both ends of the home and home this weekend. Final score today from Boardman, the Cardinals 5 and CVCA 1. So the Cardinals take both regular season meetings against CVCA this year. They increase their record to 10 wins, 3 losses, and 3 ties. JT Nichols heads up and congratulates Tyler Christie. A good show of sportsmanship from the Royals goaltender toward the senior for the Canfield Cardinals, who spend the next 4 years at West Point. We'll spend the next hour and a half or so back on the highway, headed back toward Northeast Ohio and Summit, Portage, and Cuyahoga counties, where most of these players for CVCA reside. You'll probably sit back and enjoy some NFL football action later this afternoon. We hope you enjoy that. We'll be back with you next week. We'll stay tuned to CVCA Athletics, CVCA live stream for information upcoming on more CVCA contests. Next week, the Royals in action on Friday night against Westlake and on Sunday against Sugar Falls. These Canfield Cardinals will be back in action next week, actually tomorrow, here against the Stowe Bulldogs. So good luck to the Cardinals in the rest of their season, and we hope to see more of the Cardinals, spectators, and some of their fans in Brooklyn in a couple of weeks at the Barron Cup. For now, we want to thank you for staying with us this afternoon. Once again, the final score, Canfield 5 and CVCA 1. My name is Tim Nichols. It's been our pleasure having you with us today on behalf of Sean Mosher and Mike Dearden and Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy. We thank you for watching our coverage today. Have a great afternoon and a great rest of the weekend, everyone. So long, everybody.